So here we're told that a farmer has a field in the shape of a semicircle of diameter 50 metres. And then we can see the semicircle here, so the diameter is this 50 metres. And we're told that the farmer asks Jim to build a fence around the edge of the field. So this is going to be a fence around the perimeter of this shape. And Jim tells us how much it will cost. So the total cost is going to be £29.86 per metre of fence, but then we need to add on £180 for each day's work. And we're told that Jim takes 3 days total to build this fence, and we're asked to work out the total cost here. Now it's going to be very important we remember to add on this £180 for each day at the end of this question, and make sure we don't forget that important part of this question here. So starting here, if I'm looking to find the basically perimeter of this shape, if we want to put a fence around the edge of it, I need to find its perimeter. And we have the 50 here, however we need to work out the distance around this curved edge. Now this is a semicircle, so it's basically half a circle, so its perimeter is going to be half of that, half of the circumference of the circle. So if I work out the circumference of the whole circle, I will use the formula, the circumference of a circle is pi d. So for the circumference we have pi multiplied by the diameter, which in this case is going to be 50 metres, because in the diagram that we looked at a moment ago, we had the diameter of the circle labelled up as this 50 metres. So this gives us a circumference of 50 multiplied by pi, so 50 pi. However, we're working with the semicircle here, so we need to take this 50 pi and divide it by 2 to get 25 pi, which is going to be the length of this curved edge of the semicircle. Now that I've got this, I can add it on to this original 50 here, and then I'll have the total perimeter of the semicircle. So the perimeter is equal to 25 pi plus 50 metres. And then if I do this calculation, that's going to give me an answer of 128.54 metres rounded to 2 decimal places here. Now that I've got the perimeter, I can then work out the cost of this. So if it's £29.86 per metre of fence, in order to work out the cost of the fence, I can take the number of metres I have, so 128.54, and multiply this by the cost per 1 metre, which is £29.86. And that gives me an answer of £3,838.20 here. Now finally, I'm just needing to remember to add on the £180 for each day's work. We're told Jim takes 3 days to build the fence, so the cost for the work is going to be 3 days multiplied by the cost for each day, which is 180, so that's £540 total. Now the total cost is this price of the fence plus the day's work, so I can add these two values together, so £3,838.20 plus 540, add those together to get me a final answer here of £4,378.20. Now making sure to work through this question in a logical way has really proved helpful here in making sure I don't miss out any of the key points. As for how the marks were awarded, we'd get the first mark for a process to find the circumference of the circle or semicircle, so here. Then a second mark would be for finding the perimeter of the field, so the whole perimeter of the field, like so. And the third mark will be for finding costs, so now finding the cost of the fence and the cost of the work. That gains me a third mark. And then a fourth mark is for adding the two costs that we've calculated together. And the fifth and final mark is just for this correct final answer, which could lie in between the range of £4,377 all the way up to £4,392, just depending on how you rounded your answer and how many decimal places the value of pi you used was to. So there's just a bit of a range here that allows for a few different values throughout this question.